gonna cheat with some notes here. I promise this will be under 30 minutes. First of all, welcome everyone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Jamie. I'm honored that she and I have similar philosophies about what can happen and should happen in Blowing Rock, and I'm honored to be running with her. I'd like to thank our host, Robert Candieri. I don't think could be here, but we're part of the we put this together. Joe and Heather Bogran here. Sean and Gigi. The Perrys couldn't be here, Chip and Monica Perry, but I have a strong affinity with the Perry family. They live in my grandparents' old house. My grandparents built that house up on Wonderland back in the 50s and lived there for over 30 years. And what I wanted to tell the Perrys had they been here today was, always heard that house is haunted. So if I have a campaign theme, it's that we should have sustainable growth in Blowing Rock, but still with a historic perspective. We all want to preserve what we think is special about Blowing Rock, its natural beauty, its quaintness. But having said that, we all know that change is inevitable. We all know that growth is inevitable. So what do we want from tomorrow's political leaders here in Blowing Rock? And what should these leaders' responsibilities be? I, like Jamie, believe that the first responsibility is financial stewardship. The majority of our town's budget is financed by yours and our property taxes. Yet, in the last 4 years, our budget has ballooned from $10.9 million to $16.8 million. A lot of this was because of the expansion of tourism that with COVID that just would have happened organically here. But with all these and more permanent residents that are up here. So it's important that we did that, but that's been expensive. 2 million of our 16 million is spent on servicing a little over $19 million in debt, both in principal and interest payments. And looking forward, our former city manager, Shane Fox, has told us that we have over $40 million of capital improvements and infrastructure improvements that we're going to have to be dealing with over some period of time. So who's going to be dealing with those things? I personally have had over a 35-year career financing and managing our family businesses. In addition, one of our latest projects was developing the condos up on Chestnut. And we and our partners put almost $40 million of tax value onto a site that had formerly been a functionally obsolete hospital and added $0 to the tax rolls. I would think that you would want your tax dollars entrusted with somebody who has that kind of background. A second characteristic of tomorrow's leader is someone that has a historical perspective of where we have come from. I am fortunate that our family, we've got a 100-year history in this town. My great Uncle Tom sold the property on the horse show for $1 100 years ago. We're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the horse show, obviously, this year. I believe I have the ability to leverage this tradition to plan for a better tomorrow. I too marvel at what's happened at the Embers and how that ties in architecturally with the beauty of our small town. I hope that it's going to be a fantastic gathering place. I hope it's going to be a great amenity for Blowing Rock going forward. But, you know, coming out of the ground, it don't look so hot. So I believe that we need to seriously look at the building codes for the city so that we don't become a Gatlinburg. We don't become a Myrtle Beach. And let's hope that we've learned a lesson from that project. Finally, and probably what's most important for tomorrow's leaders is we got to recognize the importance of public safety. I mean, that's pretty much the first responsibility for any municipal leader. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've had going on with this ambulance debate, and I know that several of you here have been the front and center of it, but it's gone on for decades. It's time that we solve the problem and get permanent ambulance service for the town of Blowing Rock. We were talking earlier, yesterday, about our traffic problems. We've hired more cops, and that's great, but 321 is still fraught with issues regarding safety. From both directions coming down to Sunset, it's downhill, and cars, and especially trucks, tend to gain a lot of speed. And somehow we got to solve that problem. I'm not a traffic expert, but between enforcement, between speed limits, we got to figure it out. We got to let people know that when you come through Blowing Rock, maybe you need to slow down a little bit and enjoy the view, and not just speed on through here. So on behalf of Jamie and I, again, I'd like to say thank you. We're honored, we're privileged, and I'm up for questions if Jamie is.